Welcome to our new and daily and weekly meeting within our trading academy. My name is Dr. Leon Rebelsky, and I'll be helping you to advance in your trading and in understanding the markets. You know, people often ask me, my students, whether it's I teach classes and I also teach individual investors. You know, they ask me whether I ask them, what are you in the markets for? Are you in the markets for fun and excitement, or you are in the market for money? And this is a very, very important question because we all are here we want to make money, but we're all human. And basically, we want to, first of all, know how it happens. And also we want to know whether we can do it ourselves. It's nice to go to bed at night and wake up next morning a rich man or a woman. It doesn't happen. And even if it does, you want to know how it happened. And I enjoy explaining and telling you how you can do it for yourself. And Qubit technology actually provides all possibilities. You can do it yourself, you can do nothing, and our trading robots will do it for you. You are in good hands with Qubit technology. Okay, welcome again. Let's go ahead. Today we're going to talk as usual about where do we stand in terms of latest markets. What is happening? When I say what is happening, I mean the major events that actually shape the cryptocurrency markets. We're not going to talk technical details. We're not going to look at charts in details. No. Just the major events that happened. And I can tell you a lot of things happened this week. I will spend a few minutes telling you about other cryptocurrencies because it's not only Bitcoin or Ethereum. I mean, there are many more, like almost 3,000, if I'm not mistaken, about 3,000 in different coins. Not all of them are used and not all of them are very popular. But at least we'll talk about the top 10 of the altcoins. And I will tell you how to trade with signals from the Qubit technology, from our trading department, from our analytical department. This is very, very important part of you advancing in life, advancing in your wealth building. Okay, so in the markets, we're going to talk as usual about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, just a quick look at it, and Ripple. Ripple is something that, everybody is talking about Ripple these days because of it's like a test case for the, it's like a test case really for the whole industry. This showdown between Security and Exchange Commission and Ripple. We'll see what happens because it's not finished yet. Okay, very quick look at the market. This is Bitcoin daily chart. Well, you can see that we're basically still, if you look at the daily chart, you can see that practically nothing changed. I mean, we are on the way up. We are in a rising trend with corrections, with several corrections. I mean, this is absolutely, it's like a textbook case. I want to draw your attention to two lines here. And this is, I'm not going to say it's funny, but it's amusing, okay? This line, okay, this one here, is actually the largest candle in history of Bitcoin, daily rise of more than $8,000. This is when Mr. Elon Musk announced that his company, Tesla, is going to go ahead and buy 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. A few days, and it gave a push. It gave a very, very significant push to the market, to the Bitcoin price. And look at these 2 days. Okay, this is this day and this with huge volatility. Volatility is more than $10,000 in 1 day. What happened these days? What happened on this day? Mr. Musk said that Bitcoin is overpriced. So it seems sometimes this guy is playing with the markets. I mean, he's sitting in the morning and saying, well, what am I going to do with the markets today? I'll push it here or I'll push it there. So it's fine. Anyway, so we are in the uprising trend. It's obvious. Nothing is changing at all. With uprising trend, with correction. If you are an investor, you just, as I said, you buy and you wait. And if you are a trader, you can take, this is a 4-hour chart, as you can see, you can take, make use of all of these corrections. Well, these are not already really corrections. These are the market trends, but short-term trends. But basically, this is what we can use to make money with. Okay, this is Ethereum. It looks very, very similar to Bitcoin 4-hour chart. And this is Ethereum daily. I mean, if you don't look at this line, on the price line here, on this side, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I'm sorry, my cats are going crazy. I mean, I have 4 of them here. And today, for some reason, maybe that's the weather or something, they're going crazy. I'm sorry about that. Now, this is Litecoin. And again, it looks very, very similar. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the market setters. I mean, you look at them and you understand how the whole market behaves. The whole market of altcoins, and we'll talk about it a little bit later today. I will mention what, not getting into deep details, what are altcoins and what kind of altcoins there are. Okay, this is Litecoin daily. No difference at all from Bitcoin, except for the price and maybe some small details. And of course, Ripple. Ripple, as I said, stands out, totally stands out. Not to mention that this was one of the major altcoins in terms of capitalization. But right now, it's also the center of attention of the whole crypto world. You know that Security and Exchange Commission filed a suit against Ripple, and this is what happened when they did. This is what happened when there was a suggestion that they would be able to reach out-of-court settlement. And this is what happened at the end. And this is what happened when there was a news that no out-of-court settlement is in the work. So basically, it's like a blockbuster. I mean, I'm watching it every day to see what is going to happen. And actually, the whole industry is watching it because this is something very, very important for the industry, and it is the test case for relationship between the governments, not only the US government, but all the governments and the crypto industry. I'll mention a few more words about it a little bit later today. Okay, now let's talk about what is happening today. Remember, during the gold rush, there is like, it's a very, very famous saying that most people who make money during the gold rush are not the miners themselves, but the people who sell them shovels and picks, and actually the blue jeans. Remember, Mr. Levi-Strauss made his killing by selling blue jeans to the gold diggers. Similar situation is in the crypto industry. There are businesses, there are entities around the business, around crypto business, which is around the crypto assets, I would say, which do not serve the real purpose of these assets. And the real purpose is to accommodate the exchange, accommodate decentralized exchange. This is the major purchase of all cryptocurrencies, of all major cryptocurrencies. But you still need someone or somebody who is helping to have this business intact. And of course, the exchanges are basically something that first come to mind. And for example, Coinbase is going to go for IPO, and it goes, the evaluation is anywhere from 75 billions to 95 billions in the value of the exchange. And that gives the idea of the value of the whole industry. I mean, the exchange probably very soon is going to become very similar to like New York Stock Exchange or maybe NASDAQ or maybe other major exchanges in value of that. Another example is, for example, Binance coin. You all know, I guess, that Binance coined out, I'm sorry for this, no pun intended, their own coin, BNB. And that coin is actually already surpassed, become the third in capitalization among all the cryptocurrencies. And that also tells us a lot about the acceptance of the crypto world by the financial world, by the traditional financial world. The price of one coin went from $50 in the beginning of the February up to $250 by about now. So this is something to consider. And but of course, not only people who serve the industry, but people who define the industry also making money and are also in demand and are also on top of the wave, surfing on top of the wave. Just a small example, a mining firm, miners are probably some of the most important, if not the most important players in this market. Because basically, if not for miners, we wouldn't have any of the coins. So one of the mining firms, it's Northern Data, is gearing for $500 million for IPO. And Credit Suisse Group is going to be holding this IPO. So this is also very, very interesting situation. And that is also the sign for other mining companies. I told you about a mining company in Russia, which ordered, I think, I don't remember exactly, something like 20 million worth of equipment back in December of last year. So basically mining is on the rise. Now let's talk about something interesting. Well, actually, let's talk about something else. As I already mentioned, the latest push for Bitcoin came from Mr. Musk arranging the purchase of $1.5 billion US worth of Bitcoin for Tesla. Well, basically, they just used this just for good application of reserve funds. Not all shareholders of Tesla are happy about it. I mean, no, they're all happy, but like it always happens, they want to control. And they, one of the largest shareholders, it's Bailey Gifford Group, says that they want to be part of the future decision, which is which is basically more or less realistic and more. I mean, it's okay. It's probably correct, but let's think about it. You know that Tesla made more money in crypto in this crypto gambit in 1 week than the whole industry made, not the industry, the whole, by selling cars for the whole year. I mean, just think about it. A car maker makes money from this speculation, from this adventurous move of Mr. Musk, more than they make from the whole year of selling cars. I mean, to me, it's amazing. It's amazing. And again, it's telling us about the potential of the market. Unless, of course, Mr. Musk is not just manipulating the markets, which he is, of course he is. But let's mention something else. I mean, why did, in fact, Tesla decided to buy Bitcoin? I mean, yeah, for fun, as I already said, you need to have fun in the markets for things like that. But there is always a practical reason, even behind any kind of fun. And well, first of all, it's diversification of being in the business world. It's, of course, it's a great PR and publicity stunt. I mean, everybody in the world is talking about both Bitcoin and Tesla. Brand management, the Tesla brand is very, very important, and brand management and trend setting go sort of together, simply because, you know, last year I was in the Silicon Valley in the US, where lots of high-tech, crypto, IT people, I mean, it's like the world hub of that. Almost everybody is driving Tesla. I mean, this is the car for the trendsetters, for IT people, for people who are, so basically, this was a very, very good move for raising the image of Tesla as a high-tech, as a fashionable company. And of course, it's a simple hedge against price changes, against all markets. I mean, diversification. This is very, very important. And let's not forget what Mr. Musk said, and which actually moved the markets down. He said Bitcoin seems a little bit high, and market actually reacted immediately. Well, business people, financial people, not business, financial people, like regular financial, classical financial companies are all already, if not all, but most of them are in already. Skybridge Capital, founder and one of the major, and the CEO of Skybridge Capital, Mr. Scaramucci, 100,000 before the year end. I think he already a little bit hedged this in a sense that in private conversation, I haven't spoken to him recently, but in private conversation, he said, no, it's not before the year's end. It's before, like, a couple of months. This is what we're going to see. We're going to see $100,000. That's his opinion. And again, in the market, you know, like they say, not about the markets, but they say about people's plans and people's acceptance, people's view of what is going on in the world. I mean, if you want to make Almighty God laugh, tell him about your plans. I mean, so we will see, but this seems to be reasonable. If nothing changes, if there is no major setback due to unpredictable and unforeseen yet event, this is where we're going. We're heading to about 100,000 very, very soon. And actually, I will go a little bit here. Yeah, I'll come back to the previous slide in a second. Technical analysis of one of the very, very skilled technical analysts, Mr. Todd Gordon. I'm not familiar with details of this analysis, but his analysis says that the next resistance level is at about 170. So my personal view is that by the year's end, we're going to be at anywhere between close to 200,000, not 100. Getting back to the standard and classical and conventional Wall Street business, financial business, Wall Street City, wherever you are, there is a legendary financial mogul, Mr. Ray Dalio. Just 2 years ago, no, 3 years ago, in 2017, close to 2018, he was saying, look, I mean, crypto is something that I would never get into. Well, that was 3 years ago. Now he is also already on the crypto bandwagon, saying that comparing crypto and Bitcoin to gold, and saying that this is a very, very good instrument for both saving and for like to save your wealth, and also to trade in it. So basically, conventional Wall Street is accepting crypto very, very dearly. Well, now back to business. I mean, this was financial business. Now this is a regular business. Mr. Jack Dorsey, founder and actually the face of Twitter, he has a credit and payments firm Square. It just invested 170 million in Bitcoin. And so now they have like huge set of stash of Bitcoin in their wallets, and they actually just started a few months ago looking into the markets, and they're already one of the major companies. And I will have this slide here because I learned about the situation just today. We spoke several times about Mr. Mike Novogratz and his company MicroStrategy. And they just invested another $1 billion in Bitcoin. So basically, I'm sure that these people know what they're doing. So if you have $1 billion invested in it, invest. If you have $10,000, it's also okay to go ahead and do something. Well, not everybody in business would agree. Excuse me, not everybody in business agree with that. Another very, very famous name, another very active and very prominent and very prominent business person, Mr. Bill Gates. He has very, very reserved view of the cryptocurrency, but this is probably because he became more of a less of a businessman, but more of a like person of the world, peace person. What bothering him is, and that of course we know that this is exactly the case. What is bothering him is that cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, is often used for to avoid certain laws and regulations, to use that in criminal activities, and this is something that bothering not only him, bothering everybody who is honest in the business and making those who are not so honest very happy. But this is something that has to be taken care of in the nearest future. We need to get, he said, we would need to get rid of that. That was from the point of view of criminal activities, but then there is another approach, not from business, but from government and from a person who is very, very good in understanding the markets. Janet Yellen, she was chairwoman, I'm sorry, of Federal Reserve. Now she is a Treasury Secretary of the US. Her opinion is, yes, she did speak about Bitcoin being used for some kind of illegal activities. That also is an issue. But what she's talking about is more practical. She's saying that cryptocurrencies are not very efficient. Not very efficient as a payment instrument or as a transaction instrument. I mean, they're good for savings, they're good for putting your funds in a safe place, but they're not very good for day-to-day transactions. I'm sure that she's not familiar with all of them because there are some that are very, very suited for that, and we will talk about some altcoins, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. Well, while big people like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Scaramucci, Janet Yellen, they're talking about like major things. there are people who are talking about small things. In Korea, there is this new blockchain-based karaoke app. It's called something, I don't know, something, I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, you know, during this lockdown, which actually happened everywhere, in the country where I am right now, I can't even go anywhere. I wanted to go to the base camp, but I cannot because airports are all locked right now. So people still need communicating. People still need some sort of live relationship, and so the combination of blockchain and the love of Korean to karaoke is behind the success of this this app. And on the other side of not a small business, but business like rather large and rather famous, but still not huge like Microsoft or Tesla, Uber is starting to accept cryptocurrencies for transactions in their transportation services and in their other delivery services. So this is also going to advance the view of the crypto world as it's here. It's here. It's not going to go anywhere. Okay, now let's say a few words. We're not going to spend too much time on that. You know, we mostly, when we meet, we mostly talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, simply because these are two most popular and most valuable tokens. But there is, as I already said, more than 3,000 of other coins being issued in the market. So they're all, everything, I mean, the term altcoin is very, very simple. Everything that is not Bitcoin is an altcoin. It's an alternative to Bitcoin. So these are all cryptocurrencies that use the same technology as Bitcoin, the technology of blockchain, and that technology allows peer-to-peer transactions, which means decentralized transactions. So altcoins, as I said, built on the same way, and they're using capitalizing on success of Bitcoin, but each one of them has somewhat different approach and serves somewhat different purpose. I'm not going to say that the Bitcoin is the best. I mean, it was the first one. Maybe there are more advanced in a particular way, but let's have a look. The top 10 altcoins, you see the names on your screen. I'm not going to talk all of them a lot, just mention, we will talk more about Ethereum. Ethereum is rising almost like they used to say before, to the moon. And people are saying that, well, it's not going to reach Bitcoin, of course, in value, but it has a lot of space to go up. And one of the, well, amusing, I would say it's amusing, but it's a huge business right now. The way the Bitcoin Ethereum-based blockchain is used is investment in real estate, virtual real estate. I mean, this Decentraland, the imaginary virtual world where you can buy land, houses, you can buy real estate, you can invest in it, and you can arrange it to your liking. So this is, it sounds amusing, but it's a very, very big thing right now. I mean, it started a few years ago, and the idea was the original idea was to use the pixelated grid and allocate pixels to users through blockchain technology, through Ethereum-based blockchain, and so it grew to like totally new and totally untraced yet way of investing into real estate. So if you cannot buy a house where you live, I'm sure you can. You will be able to very, very soon. Well, you can buy a house in the central end and go visit there as often as you want to. So let's talk about altcoins very, very quickly. There are 4 different major kinds of altcoins. One of the most interesting ones are those that are tied to the real, they're pegged to real existing assets like dollar or euro or some stock, for example, like Facebook stock. The idea behind those is, I'm sure you've seen this if you don't know all of them, and I don't know all of them, but the most famous, the most popular one is USDT. It's called Tether, and it's a stable coin which is tied to the value of US dollar. So basically, when you trade in, when you're talking about USDT, it's basically you're talking about US dollar. Euro, other ones also exist, and the value, they're of course less volatile. They're not volatile at all. I mean, because they are basically the same value, have the same value as the asset that they're pegged to. Okay, then there are, of course, you can either buy your coins or you can mine them. And there are those, for example, Ripple is a coin that you do not mine, but there are many coins that you do mine. So mining-based coins are a very, very big class of different altcoins. Well, I'm not going to remind you. No, I will remind you that mining is the process of validating a transaction. And when you validate this transaction, you get a reward for it. And the reward comes in the way of a crypto asset. As I said already, Ethereum is mining-based altcoin, for example. Now, the security tokens. This is something relatively new. It wasn't around just a few years ago when there was this era of ICO. The security token is an investment contract between a company or a government or whoever else. And that is almost like a stock, almost like a stock. When you buy a security token, you're buying part in the share in the project or in the company. Sometimes it even gives you the voting rights, and because they are very, very. This is very important. I mean, as I said, they're like stock. They are more regulated, and they are less volatile than other kind of tokens. And then, of course, there are utility tokens. Those are used for doing certain things within different blockchain platforms. As an example, small example, there is a Filecoin token, and you can use it to buy space on network, on Filecoin network, to store or transfer your files. This is a decentralized network. I mean, we all know about cloud, we know about Amazon spaces to store your files. But the whole idea, as we were saying a lot before, with cloud or with Amazon or other storages like this, you do depend on those who provide the service. In the decentralized case with Filecoin, no one can prevent you from storing or transferring the file that you're using to wherever you want it to go. So these are 4 types of tokens, of altcoins. Now, very, very important, each of those serves certain purpose, certain technology. As I said, Filecoin is to transfer files. Ethereum is to serve a smart contract community. Many of those are for payment. Many of those are for payment. And the e-commerce became very, very, got huge boost because of this corona situation, and it's already reached huge level of like 6.5 trillion, and it's going to corner more than 52%. That's the projection in 2 years' time. So you need to, when you look at a coin, you need to understand which technology it serves. And if you do understand it, you would understand how far it can go, how high it can go, whether it's undervalued or overpriced. So, and that is a perfect, this is a knowledge that you need to have for making an investment, not trading. Remember, we talked about it before. Investment is why the markets are moving. That's fundamental analysis. Technical analysis is how the markets are moving. There is a big difference between those, and if you understand this, that will help you to trade. Now, we spoke a lot about India last couple of weeks, and that is because the Indian government decided I don't know whether it's in place yet or not, but they are considering or implemented already the ban on cryptocurrencies. And this is a very major event for all Indian investors. I mean, because there are like 10 million Indian investors, and they own, like, in rupees, it's more than 10 billion in rupees. And that, of course, is a huge market. And the ban will result in it will affect this market very strongly. And it will hurt their businesses, and it will allow the foreign firms, not the Indian firms, to capitalize on this situation. And so investors are trying to switch from sort of a centralized relationship, but they are switching to peer-to-peer. So this Indian government, the decision of Indian government, this move actually makes people to shift to the side for which all these cryptocurrencies were created. Because when you're using Binance or Coinbase or any other, you still have some sort of intermediary between you and somebody else who you getting your funds from or sending your funds. So in India, they are moving to pure peer-to-peer transferring of the funds and of the crypto assets. So one thing that we need to talk about, and this is we don't need to talk about it, but one of the important things, and we mention something about it every time we meet, is the regulation of cryptocurrency around the world. And it's a very wide issue. I just want to mention one part of it, one very important significant part of it. It's taxation. The governments did not decided, most of the governments, how to treat the cryptocurrency, whether it's the assets for taxation purposes. And here you have several countries. In some countries, like Israel, for example, it's taxes assets, regular asset, financial asset, foreign currency. In some countries, it's subject to income tax, and you can also do the deductible, all different kinds. I mean, I will devote one of our meetings directly and only to that. This is just to mention that no one knows yet, even though we are very far advanced in the crypto asset, cryptocurrency world. Governments don't know yet how to treat this. Okay, now let's go to practical side of what we're talking. Very briefly, I will mention I will remind you that we have trading robots in Qubit technology, and these robots are actually very, very efficient in making money for you without knowing how this money are made. I mean, I don't like that myself, but this is how it is. I mean, you can make money without really understanding the situation, and that, well, that's a good way. That's an efficient way. And the robots that the robots are, just remind you, they are just simply algorithms that make decisions. There is a number of advantages with qubit technology robots. The most important, in my view, is that it gives you peace of mind. The funds are in your accounts on the exchange of your choice, and they are in your wallet, and the robots are trading on them. You sort of give them the like money management right, and but the money, as I said, are always in your wallet. So we have flat robot and giant robot. They are very, very simple ones, and they are efficient. They are based on a few simple technical indicators, technical strategies, and they work with three different pairs: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the mix of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then we have this smart robot, which is like a full-fledged trading system. I mean, it uses different strategies. It uses different. The choice of cryptocurrencies is huge, and we recommend this. It also works on any platform that you choose to work, and this is a very, very versatile and very, very advanced trading system. Just to remind you that we have that. Now, okay, robots, trading with robots is great. But I already mentioned in the beginning, sometimes we want to get the feel of it. We want to trade ourselves, okay? We want the excitement of trading. We want the adrenaline of trading. You know, I have a friend who is a very, very successful broker. And he's in his 40s or something like this. And I found out recently he bought a motorcycle. So I talked to him and I say, listen, don't you have enough of living dangerously by trading the markets? And he just laughed at it. But in this joke, there is all truth. We need to have the emotions, the feeling of getting rich, of getting wealthier. And while qubit technology gives you the possibility of doing this without getting emotional, it also gives you possibility of really getting your feet wet with trading. So what do you need to start trading? You need to, well, not only crypto trading, but any trading. You need to choose an exchange where you're going to do this, or broker. You need to have the wallet. You need to use technology. But the most important part of any trading process is you need to have a good source of information. That could be either you can do your own research or you can use the signals, the research that qubit technology does for you. We recently installed the system of crypto signals. What are the signals? I mean, for those of you who are familiar with Forex world or stock market, the signals, crypto signals, are basically very similar to the signals you were getting in Forex, in trading Forex. These are the suggestions that are based on somebody else's research that give you an idea when and what to buy or sell, at what price and at what time. These could be generated either manually or by special software. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What it does, it gives you the idea what and when to buy. And here is very, very important distinction when I say what and when. There are some of the signals which I love myself, and I actually provide them for my friends and for my clients. They are like buy this or sell this, such and such asset. and they are not related to any time constraint. When you get them, you perform the purchase. Let's say if I send you, if I send someone an instruction, if they get an instruction, buy Bitcoin, they go and do it. But these are very, very efficient, efficient orders, signals. But more popular are those that say go into the market at certain level. And they say, if Bitcoin reaches $51,500, buy it. If Ethereum reaches 1,300, sell it. Okay. In order to do this, you need to know what is a pending order is. I mean, you do these actions by implementing the technology, the philosophy of pending orders. Pending order, in very, very short and very simple terms, is a trader's instruction to your platform, whether it's an exchange or brokerage, to buy or sell a certain asset if it reaches, when it reaches certain price. If it doesn't reach this price, the order is not executed. So there are different kinds: buy limit, buy stop, sell limit, sell stop. I will give you the exact and detailed explanation of that in a special session. In short, when the certain level of the market is reached, then the order that you make is executed. You go into the market, or if you are already in the market, you terminate your position in the market. Because most signals go like this. You get the idea to determine the signal which determines your entry point, but you also get the instruction where to place the take profit and stop loss. I'm sure you all know what these are. If not, I don't want to waste time on this. I will do it in a separate session. So you get the signal on when to enter the market and when to exit the markets. It's very, very simple. It's very simple in philosophy. It's a complicated process if you do it for the first time. But when you master it, it's going to be very, very simple. We send quite a large number of Qubit Technology sends out quite a large number of signals every month, and basically they're all based on our algorithms, quantum algorithms, and our trading department, analytical department view of the market analysis, and they're very, very efficient, very efficient. This is an example, just a short example. If you are doing this on BINANCE, if you're doing it on BINANCE, you choose the spot, the limit or stop limit. We talked about it in a second. You determine the price when you enter the market, and in the same way, you determine the price when you exit the market. So basically, it's just one small page that you have to fill, and then you, of course, you enter the amount, and that's it. You are trading like a pro. We will devote this special session just for this. It's going to be a shorter session without a view of the markets, but it's going to be a very, very useful one. So stay tuned, and I just want to say thank you to the sources that I used in preparing today's session. You can see them all on the screen, and I wish you very, very successful trading. Wish you lots of profit and lots of enjoyment from the markets, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one. This is Dr. Leon Rebelsky with Qubit Technology Trading Academy.